Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen folks, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be having a live radio show. I'll be talking Jets. Please call in. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets coaching staff involvement in the Senior Bowl and the impact that it could have on the New York Jets draft. It could be huge, man. It could be huge. First and foremost, I want to talk about this Jets coaching staff and the energy that they brought to the situation and process, okay? If you listen to any of the players from the national team, now that was the coach, or that was the team that the New York Jets were coaching, right? If you listen to any of the players from that team, they will tell you about the passion and fire that they brought and how much they enjoyed being coached by the New York Jets coaching staff. That's huge. That's huge because that does nothing but bode well for the team in drawing and attracting players to want to be here, right? Let me tell you something. I don't know if this is legal. I don't know if this is legal or not, but we saw players from the national team that had Jets paraphernalia on. We saw them with Jets hats on. Okay? I don't know if that's legal, just yet. I don't know, but what I do know is we saw that. There's pictures of these young guys running around with Jets hats on and stuff and just being fired up. And that's big, man. That is big for this team because, again, we're a team that's trying to change the culture, okay? We're still in a rebuilding process. We're still trying to find our way. But when you have players that want to be here, when you have that type of energy being surrounded, just bringing the team together, that's going to get you through these situations, these periods of rebuild that we are in. That's going to get everybody, one team, one focus kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was huge. And I really, really love that Saleh and the staff, Coach Ron Middleton, all those guys brought that type of high energy and passion here. All right. Now, again, they were coaching the national team and things were, very well organized out there. They had great practices. They had a lot of interviews with a lot of players. And this type of stuff really truly allows you to evaluate players properly if you are doing what you need to do. Okay, now, of course, we have other draft processes like the combine and stuff, right? The combine's great. But again, at the combine, there are things that you can hide at the combine. We've seen that. We've been duped by players at the combine. Vernon Golson was one of those guys. Vernon Golson was a workout warrior. He's phenomenal, right? Working out. But when you draft him and put his butt out there on the field, well, you saw what Vernon Golson was. Not much of nothing, right? Not much of nothing. Well, it's kind of hard to hide some of the chinks in your armor when you're asked to go out there for a full week in practice. Because I think they have these guys from like Monday to Saturday, right? So you're watching these guys do everything. You're talking to these guys on a daily basis. You're evaluating their ability to do different things. You're evaluating their ability to follow your instruction. And you're also taking notes on who seems to be disinterested in the process of learning anything and everything, right? Who's showing up early? Who's showing up late? Who's not showing up on, when doing things that they're supposed to be doing? You take notes and all those things. Who's taking this process seriously? Because if you're not going to take this process seriously to get into the league, you got to wonder how seriously are you going to take the processes once you're in the league and we're asking you to do things that you need to do to go out there and win football games. That's the big questions. And so when you look at the evaluation process as well at the Senior Bowl, this also allows you to see how a kid is going to respond to your coaching style. That's huge as well, right? We've seen players in this league where, again, the Jets coaching staff is high energy, rah-rah. There's some players that don't respond to that type of coaching. There's some guys in the league already, right, that are guys that need to be babied. You have to baby them through stuff. Is that a type of player that you want on your roster? Probably not, right? So these are the kind of processes when you're evaluating, you're weeding those guys out. You also get to see, right, if there's some things going on out there on the field where he doesn't understand that and the going is getting tough, is he going to fight through that and try to figure it out? If the going gets tough, is he going to work, right? Or is he just going to give up? Because again, we're in a rebuild as well. There's going to be situations where things are going to be very tough. There's going to be games that are very tough. Are you going to mentally check out if we start losing? Because we've had issues with that in the past as well too. Jamal Adams, that was one of the main reasons we got rid of him. He's a talented player, but we were losing and the going was getting tough and he decided to get going because until we became winners, he didn't want to have nothing to do with being here within a rebuild. Some of these young guys may be in that situation because, again, the Jets are still trying to find their way. This is how you weed a lot of these guys out. When you're talking to them, you're evaluating them, you're figuring things out. It also allows you to figure out how quickly a player can process the playbook or plays that you give them. They did that in this processing, in this evaluation during the Senior Bowl. They gave some of these quarterbacks that they were working with just some plays from the playbook and said, hey, go out there and execute them. And some of these guys picked up what they gave them very quickly. That is huge because, again, we're dealing with that currently right now. Denzel Mims, phenomenal wide receiver, doesn't understand the playbook. He's very athletically gifted, but from what the Jets coaching staff has told us, he don't get the playbook. He don't understand any of the positions. Guess what? We have not seen that guy do much of anything this season, and he's a second-round pick. He was a guy that everybody said was going to have a big season coming into the season, has done nothing, all right? So do you want another one of those situations? You give some of these kids your plays, just a couple plays, see if they can execute them, helps you really see what's going on upstairs with that guy. So those are the evaluation processes. Now, there's some players as well that went throughout this Senior Bowl process that I think the New York Jets definitely have highlighted and definitely might be looking to take in this draft, okay? One of them is Trevor Penning. This was all over the place. Him and Joe Douglas definitely had some discussions, right? And the reason why Trevor Penning is kind of big here in this situation is he's an offensive tackle from Alabama. Well, lo and behold, we have some issues at tackle. There's some question marks going on here at tackle, all right? I'm looking around, all right? Mekhi Becton, there's some questions, okay, whether he's going to win the left tackle spot or not. We all know that he's coming back from that injury. We'll see if he's even healthy. Well, guess what? If he does win the left tackle spot, then what do you do at right tackle? Morgan Moses is a free agent. Are you moving George Fant over there? Okay, if you do, guess what? He's on the last year of his deal. Are you going to re-sign him and extend him? He's turning 30. How long can he be here? Maybe Trevor Penning is the guy that actually is going to be the New York Jets' future starting right tackle. Zion Johnson as well, a guard from Boston College. He's a guy that definitely name is swirling around. He's a guy that raised his draft stock as well because he's willing to play center. That could factor into a guy that we take as well in the draft. Trey McBride. God, this guy is unbelievable. He was a guy that was talked about. And again, this tight end class is deep because Jake Ferguson is on my list as well. But with Trey McBride, this was a guy that was talked about as being kind of a mid-second round guy, you know, high second round guy. Now there's some people saying that he could go as high as, you know, late first round. They're saying he's going to be gone, you know, 20s and down. He could be gone. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what happens with him, but he's a guy that could definitely be utilized by the New York Jets in the draft. Boye Mafia as well from Minnesota, edge. Man, he's a player of the game. This guy's flying around. We need edge. Carl Lawson coming off of a torn Achilles. Who knows what he's going to look like in the future? And even if he does come back, we need more than one guy out there rushing the passer. So Boye Mafia is a guy that definitely the New York Jets can end up drafting. Now, another thing that comes out of this Senior Bowl situation as well is, again, with guys' draft stocks being raised, the New York Jets have 2 first-round picks. They have 2, one at 4, one at 10. That number 10 pick could be utilized in a trade down for a player that another team has fell in love with their performance in the Senior Bowl and maybe some scouting before. They could utilize that 10 pick, trade down, and because they have so much inside knowledge on the wealth of players from this process, they could end up grabbing a guy that they could absolutely turn into a monster at the next level. So that could be huge as well. Players that have raised their draft stock move up, teams will be more than likely to move up to grab them, and that 10th pick could be very, very valuable now for the New York Jets in trade down options. So, man, this is going to be big. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the Senior Bowl situation? What were your thoughts about the New York Jets coaching staff, the energy brought as well? I want to hear about you folks' targets. What were your thoughts about some of the players that performed well in the Senior Bowl? And where do you think some of these guys can end up going now? So comment down below. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.